I'm on a mission that niggas say is impossible. But when I swing my swords, they all choppable.
Up from the 36 chambers, it's the ghost.
What up, yo? It's your boy, yo, it's Lord Tree, man. We back with another episode of 16 Bars for you. We back with another amazing album review, yo. This one's going to be crazy. But, yo, y'all know how we always start each and every episode. If you haven't subscribed to 16 Bars yet, go on down, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified whenever we upload new content. And if you enjoy these videos, if you like these videos, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. All right, yo, let's get into it, man. Woo! I've been waiting for this one, man. Yo, GZA, Liquid Swords. This is GZA's second studio album. Album was released on November the 7th, 1995. Listen, yo, off the top, man. I want to hold this till like the end of the album, but I'm just going to let y'all know, man. Critically acclaimed. There are a lot of people out there, hip-hop fans, hip-hop critics, that put this album on the top of their... Listen, man, this right here is a lyrical exercise in hip-hop, man. What you just heard right there, that was actually track number 1, the title of the album, Liquid Swords. We're going to give you all a little piece of another intro right here for y'all. Y'all check this one out right here. Let's go.
When I was little, my father was famous. He was the greatest shogun's decapitator. He cut off the heads of 131 lords. People said his brain was infected by devils.
The way the Wu-Tang takes karate movies, I was a big karate movie fan back in the days. Back in the days, living in Trinidad and Tobago, yo, listen, for real. Karate movies were... We used to go to this movie theater called Globe, and they used to do a 2-movie feature. One movie, you had an intermission, and then you had a second movie. And we used to go watch karate movies all the time, man. So when I saw what the Wu-Tang was doing with taking these hip-hop, these karate movies and implementing that into their music, when I saw that, I immediately became a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan. And this movie is actually called Shogun Assassin. Excuse me. I didn't know about that movie until I listened to that intro. And once I heard that intro for this album, I immediately after that went up and looked at that title and had to go watch that movie. So Shogun Assassin, classic movie, classic sample from RZA right there. Let's get into track number 2. Track number 2 we're going to talk about. This track is called Duel of the Iron Mics. Yo, listen. Ooh, let me get a verse off of this, yo. Hold up a second. Verse 1, RZA goes, yo, picture bloodbaths in elevator shafts, like these murderous rhymes tight from genuine craft. Check the print, it's where veterans spark the lettering. Slow-moving MCs is waiting for the editing. The liquid subtle that made up the chemistry. A gaseous element that burned down your ministry. Verbal vapors and biblical papers. Smoking exodus, every square yard is plush. Yo, let's go. Yo, track number 2, Duel of the Iron Mics. This is GZA. This is Liquid Swords. Let's go.
Yo, picture bloodbaths and elevator shafts like these murderous rounds. Veterans spark the lettering. Slow-moving MCs is waiting for the editing. Papers and biblical paper smoking exodus. Every square yard is plush. Fuck the screw face photo sessions. In particular, I bang like vehicular homicides in July 4th in Bed-Stuy.
GZA is a very technical MC, and listening to GZA put together words, put together rhymes, put together verses, put together songs is just like, it's like he's dancing on the track. There's a lot of MCs that don't know how to flow on a track. And when you listen to this album, you're going to understand what it means when somebody says, yo, that MC is flowing on the track. All right, let's jump into singles, yo. This album actually had 4 singles, which is kind of amazing. A lot of albums back then had like 2, maybe 3 banging singles. For a hardcore album such as this, a Wu-Tang album, 4 singles on there. First single, I Got Your Back. I Got Your Back, so you best to watch your front because chickens in front. I Got Your Back, Liquid Swords, Cold World, whew, classic, and Shadowboxin. Yo, so 4 singles were on this album. We're going to jump into track number 5. Maybe my most favorite song on this album. One of my favorites is up there. Track number 5 is called Cold. And I'm going to give y'all I'm actually going to give y'all the Inspector Deck verse off of this side. So this is verse 2. This is verse 2, Cold War. This is Inspector Deck. Inspector goes, yo, no time to freeze. Undercovers ease up in Grand Prix. Oof. Grand Prix. Bring that back for y'all. Hold up. Inspector Deck, verse 2. No time to freeze. Undercovers ease up in Grand Prix and seize packages and pockets the currency. Ooh. It happens, man. Let me bring that back one more time. Yo, no time to freeze. Undercovers ease up in Grand Prix and seize packages and pocket the currency. Clicks control strips. Full clips are sprayed. Yellow tape barricades. Sidewalk with bodies lit. Yo! Woo! Let me slow it down. Let me slow it down. My bad. Let me slow it down. Yo, no time to freeze. Undercovers ease up in Grand Prix and seize packages and pockets the currency. Clicks control strips. Full clips are sprayed. Yellow tape barricades. Sidewalks where bodies lay. Madness strikes at 12 o'clock midnight. Stick up kids on the ground broke the staircase light. And I stays harassed, scrambling for petty. I stays harassed. NYC. My bad. I'm going to bring that back just a little bit. Madness strikes at 12 o'clock midnight. Stick up kids on the ground broke the staircase light. And I stays harassed, scrambling for petty cash. Jake's on my ass. Young Bucks is learning. Yo, no, listen, let's go. This is track number 5. This is Cold World. This is Inspector Deck. Yo, let's go.
Strips, full clips of spray, yellow tape barricades, sidewalks with bodies laid. Scrambling for petty cash. Jake's on my ass, young bucks is learning fast. 357s and 44s in the jet black gallant. Shot up the Chinese restaurant for this kid named Lamont. I thought he was dead, but it stands in drama. Life is a script, I'm not an actor, but the author of a modern day opera. We're the main character. You got me locked down in this cold world.
Yo, man, one of the things I really love about hip hop is when you can listen to a song, listen to a verse, and you can actually relate. Like, you can relate to what's going on. There's not a whole lot of stuff I can relate to in hip hop, but there are some things that you can relate to. And people always say that hip hop came from the streets. Hip hop came from the lifestyle that we were living, and we put it into our music. So when you listen to that song, Cold World, there's a lot of stuff that people hear that I know I can relate to. So RZA production, man. Listen. RZA's production on this album was out of this world, yo. The samples that he was using up to this album so far, we're on track number 5. The samples that he's using in these songs, the way he's incorporating karate movies in there, the bars that these guys, that GZA and Inspector Deck and these guys have already put on this album, like RZA. Shout out to RZA with RZA's production. All right, we're gonna move into the next track. We're gonna talk about. I love this track because, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what the track is about. This track is track number 6. This track is called Labels. Y'all peep the track. We're going to talk about it after that, all right? Let's go. Labels. Hope.
You know, you got to read the label. You got to read the label. If you don't read the label, you might get poisoned.
Tommy ain't my motherfucking boy. When you know, goddamn, I show living large niggas how to flip a Def Jam and rough up the motherfucking house, cause I'm starting to brother. I'm ruthless, my clan don't have to act wild. That shit is job. There's no sleeping bag profile. He's driving the Mercury. The capital of this rugged slang is Wu-Tang. Witty, unpredictable.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed how he used all of those different record labels in there. Tommy, Sony. It's ingenious, and it's one of my favorite tracks off the album. Again, that hard-hitting track was called Labels. That was track number 6. Like I told you all at the beginning of this review, this album, once this album got released, there's always going to be the conversation of who's better, who's the best, what album is good, what album is great, what album stands the test of time. This album stands the test of time. Critics were highly amazed by the verbal intercourse on this album. And again, we're on track number 6. The production was just stellar from RZA. All right, so shout out to GZA, shout out to RZA for putting together an album that's just so amazing up to this point. We're on track number 6. We're gonna jump to track number 7. I'm gonna give it to y'all first. Let's go.
Choose the sword, and you will join me. Choose the ball, and you join your mother in death. So, come, boy. Choose life or death.
And honestly, man, when I first bought this album, when I played that song, and I played that intro, I had to rewind that intro a bunch of times. I did. Choose the sword, and you will join me, which is, the swordsman, the fighter. Choose the ball, and you will join your mother, which his mother had already got killed. Remember, good in the movie, she got killed. So there's so much stuff to unpack in that little piece. You choose the sword. He's saying to his son, if you choose the sword, I'm going to train you. I'm going to teach you to you're going to be with me. I'm going to train you. But if you choose that ball and you want to play, man, listen, I literally had to rewind that track back to the top a bunch of times because it was just, it's an amazing piece of an intro right there. And that's track number 7. That was called Fourth Chamber. And let's jump into some Billboard numbers, yo. Let's do some Billboard. Let's go. All right, so Billboard 200. This album was coming off of, remember, Method Man had dropped before this, and I believe Old Dirty Bastard. Hit the comments, hip hop fans. Let me know if I'm right or wrong about this. Old Dirty Bastard had just dropped right before this too. So Billboard, here is GZA maybe wasn't the most popular Wu-Tang member, because I believe Method Man, it was the first solo. I think Method Man was the first solo Wu-Tang member to get his own solo album out of the 9 members. All right. ODB was loved too, and ODB got an album. Even though GZA was maybe one of the top 3 MCs on Wu-Tang. He wasn't the one to get the first solo album to come out. So what I'm saying is, coming off of Meth, coming off of ODB, Billboard 200, it reached as high as number 9 on the Billboard 200 charts, which is great for a hardcore album. Remember, Wu-Tang Clan is not one of these R&B grooves. The Wu-Tang Clan is a hardcore crew. All right, and back then they were dropping just street bangers after bangers after bangers, and we all know how people, when they buy albums, people are finicky when they purchase albums. All right, so Billboard 200, Number 9 on the Billboard 200, man. So shout out to GZA for that. We're going to jump into track number 8. Woo! Yeah, so track number 8 is called Shadowboxin. And I was just telling y'all about Method Man being one of the most popular Wu-Tang members. Maybe he wasn't the most lyrical, but he was one of the most popular Wu-Tang members. This track, Shadowboxin, is with Meth and with GZA. I'm going to give y'all the GZA verse. We're going to jump into the track, all right? So GZA goes, yo, this is verse 2. GZA goes, yo, I slay MCs back in the rec room era. My style broke motherfucking backs like Ken Patera. Most rap jiggers come loud but unheard. Once I pull out, round them out to the nearest third. Woo! Woo! Oh, bring that back. Verse 2. GZA, Shadowboxin. GZA goes, yo, I slay MCs back in the rec room era. My style broke motherfucking backs like Ken Patera. Most rap jiggers come loud but unheard. Once I pull out, round them out to the nearest third. Check these non-visual jiggers with tapes and a portrait. Fool the seminar trying to orbit this corporate industry. But what them jiggers can't see must break through like the Wu unexpectedly. Protect your neck. Protect your... Ooh, classic. I got to bring that piece back just a little bit. Check these non-visual jiggers with tapes and a portrait. Flood the seminar trying to orbit this corporate industry. But what these jiggers can't see must break through like the Wu unexpectedly. Protect your neck. My sword still remains imperial. Before I blast the mic, raise a scratch off the cereal. Let's go. Yo, let's go. Track number 8. This is Shadowboxin. Let's go.
Yo, I slayed them C's back in the rec room era. My style loud niggas came loud but unheard. Once I pulled out, ground them off to the nearest third. Check these non-visual niggas with tapes effectively. Protect your neck, my sword still remains imperial. Before I blast the mic, RZA scratch off the cereal.
And the strategy is mastered, the plot thicken. This be that Wu shit. I don't give a cotton picking. Don't look at mama, baby boy acting like he grown. No time for sleep, I get deep as a baritone. Son, Wu brother number 1. Protect your neck, flying guillotines, here they come. Bloody bastards, hard times, lungs. Out of whack, nigga that. Don't understand the fact when they come to RZA tracks. I don't know how to act.
Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze in the video. Yo, listen, man. That was Method Man. GZA. That track was called Shadowboxin. That was track number 8. We're gonna jump to track number. Another banger off the album. This track is called I Got Your Back. I got your back, but you best to watch your front. Cause the jig is in front. Who be pulling stun? Let me give you all a verse off of this. Hold up. We're gonna give you all verse 1. This is GZA. I got your back. Verse 1. GZA goes, yo. I was always taught my do's and don'ts. For do's I did, and for don'ts I said I won't. I'm from Brooklyn, a place where stars are born. Streets are shot up, apartment buildings are torn and ripped up, stripped up, shacked up and backed up. From fiends, cause the bosses on the scene, they got it cracked up. Kids are slinging in my lobby. Little Steve and Bobby getting paid, but it's a life-threatening. Oh man! Hey, let me slow it down. I mean, look, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me slow it down. He said, from fiends, cause the bosses on the scene, they got it cracked up. Kids are slinging in my lobby. Little Steve and Bobby getting paid, but it's a life-threatening hobby. Yeah, they still play hide and seek. The fiends seek for the crack and they hide to let the cops sleep. Ooh. Grown folks say they should be out on their own before the gangs come and blow up their mom's home. Because their lifestyle is hectic, so fucking hectic. Blah, 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 bullets are ejected. My lifestyle was so far from well. Could have wrote the book with a title, age 12 and going through hell. Oh man, listen. GZA is ripping these bars apart. Yo, let's get into it, man. This track is called I Got Your Back. Let's go.
I was always taught by do's and don'ts. For do's I did, and for don'ts I said I want one from Brooklyn. Kids are slinging in my lobby. Little Steve and Bobby getting paid, but it's a life-threatening hobby. Yeah, this lifestyle is hectic, so fucking hectic. Blah blah blah, bullets are ejected. My lifestyle was so fucking wild, man. So I don't only watch my back, I watch my front. Cause it's the niggas who front, they be pulling stunts. Back when I ain't in the crime. Is it criminals robbing innocent motherfuckers every time? Little shorties.
Oh, man. Listen. Final track on the album, track number 13. This track is called Bible. It's called Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. That's track number 13. That's the end of the album, yo. We gonna get into rating of the bars. Let's rate this album, yo. Let's go. This is one of those albums that I can just put on and just let it rock, yo. Just let it rock, because every track is well produced. Every track is well produced. All right? Every track, GZA is just giving you gems. All right? Meth is on there killing it. Ghost is on there killing it. Ray is on there killing it. Listen. This album is a masterclass in lyricism, yo. A lot of people talk about music. Some people like music that you can dance to. Some people like music where you can just vibe out to and just relax. This album right here, this is a masterclass in lyricism, yo. GZA really went all the way in. Again, production on this album. With RZA doing so much of Wu-Tang albums, there was a time I thought RZA would get burnt out from doing so much production. But on this album right here, Liquid Swords, RZA did his thing on this album. This is one of RZA's best productions, top to bottom, by far. All right. Sampling on this, I love the samplings that he used on this. RZA always digs deep into his sample bag and goes way back and pulls out stuff that when you hear these little, you be thinking, where'd he get that from? And then incorporating that with the Kung Fu flicks. Again, Kung Fu flicks was a thing of my childhood. So whenever he incorporates the Kung Fu flicks in there, I just start just getting all giddy and happy. So shout out to the production on this. The length of this album is just right. Length of the album is perfect here. I mean, 51 minutes. 50 minutes and like 49 seconds. 51 minutes. I would have rather another 9 minutes top it off at the hour mark, but the way it lands, perfectly lengthened on the album. And the features, great features. Only Wu-Tang members were on there. Meth was on there, Ghost was on there, Ray was on there, Deck was on the album too. RZA was on the album as well too. So it was nothing but a Wu-Tang party. So I can't get mad at that. Listen, man, it's a 5 out of 5. I'm not even gonna waste your time no more, man. This album is a 5 out of 5. If you don't own this album, you need to go pick this album up. Get a physical copy of this album. Keep it in your home. Display it. Let your friends know when they come over you got that in your library. I don't want to hear that you don't have this album. Oh, I'm streaming it. I got it on Tidal. I got it on. No. If you can pick up a hard copy of this, go get a hard copy. Put this in your library. Classic album. We're going to have to update the board. So on the next few episodes, you're going to see the board updated. It's going to go in. This is going to take, somebody got to go. Somebody on Fight Club got to go. All right, Fight Club right now, we haven't touched Fight Club in a minute. But Liquid Swords is going up there. Number 1 on Fight Club so far, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. Number 2, B.I.G. with Ready to Die. Number 3, that boy Jay-Z with The Blueprint. Number 4, rest in peace, Pac, Machiavelli. Number 5 on Fight Club, Tecalian Stallion from the Wu-Tang. Somebody's coming off. All right? So when you see our next episode pop up, we're going to let y'all know who got replaced on Fight Club, man. It's that simple. Yo, let's get into Barz of the Titans. We got an amazing Barz of the Titans for y'all, man. Let's go. All right. Barz of the Titans time, man. Yo, listen. This week, rest in peace, Phife Dawg, Linden Boulevard, Trinidad and Tobago. Shout out Trinidad and Tobago. Shout out Linden Boulevard. This is Phife Dawg. This is off the group Tribe Called Quest. This joint is called Check the Rhyme. We're going to give y'all verse 2. We're going to give y'all Phife Dawgs. We're going to jump into verse number 2 and give y'all Phife Dawg verse. All right, so yo, Phife Dawg goes, yo. Now here's a funky introduction of how nice I am. Tell your mother, tell your father, send a telegram. I'm like an Energizer cause, you see, I last long. My crew is never ever whack because we stand strong. Now if you say my style is whack, then that's where you're dead wrong. I slay that buddy in El Segundo and then push it along. You'll be a fool to reply that Phife is not the man. Cause you know and I know that you know who I am. A special shout of peace goes out to all my pals, you see, and the middle finger goes for all you punk MCs. Cause I love it when you whack MCs despise me. They get vexed, I roll next, can't none contest me. I'm just a fly MC who's 5'3" and very brave. On top remaining, no home training, cause I misbehave. I come correct in full effect, have all my holes in check. And before I get the butt, the gym must be erect. You see, my aura's positive, I don't promote no junk. See, I'm far from a bully, and I ain't no punk. Extremely in rhythm, yeah, that's what you heard. So just clean out your ears and just check the word. Check the rhyme. Check the rhyme. Yo, listen, yo. This is Phife Dawg. This is a Tribe Called Quest. Shout out to Linden Boulevard. Shout out to Trinidad and Tobago. Rest in peace, Phife Dawg. Barz of the Titans. 16 bars. It's the boy Onslaught Tree. Let's go.
You're on point, Phife. All the time, Tip. You're on point, Phife. All the time, Tip. You're on point, Phife. All the time. Introduction of how nice I am. Tell your mother, tell your father, send a telegram. I'm like an Energizer, cause you see I last. Dollars rack is where you're dead wrong. I slay that body in El Segundo, then push it along. You be a peace goes out to all my pals, you see. And the middle finger goes for all you punk MCs. Cause I love it when you whack MCs despise. Cause I misbehave, I come correct in full effect of all my holes in check. And before I get the butt, the gym must be a wreck.